Do you have any weird stories? Chris Palames, Boston, Massachusetts.
Harvard Square. It was a couple years after I'm out of the hospital. I had been for a lot of time at Mass General Hospital, and I would head back over to Harvard Square. Sometimes in the summer I was back for some follow-up, chopping and cutting, a little bit of surgery here and there. And then over to Harvard Square. And I remember it's a hot day in Harvard Square, and a friend wants to go to the bookstore, which is the back of the Harvard Coop. It's across the street. And I'm a little worn, so I said, I'll just wait for you up here in that main entrance to the Harvard Co-op, the big student store there. And I'm sitting in there, and sitting back and just trying to gather my energy a little bit. And someone comes by, and I feel a hand come down and across my face, and I hear something, and I look up abruptly, and this woman is passing, and I'm saying, "Pardon me." I guess I had manners in those days. "Pardon me," or "Excuse me," or something. And the woman says, "What? Excuse you from loving me?" And I say, "Lady, you're behaving a little weird." This is a little inappropriate and too strange for me, And she got herself up in a nice huff and climbed on a horse and rode away. But again, that's so many of those moments, Laura mentioned airplanes. We all have stories about airplanes. I'm going to quote a friend of mine. As he said once, in getting off a plane, when a stewardess yelled out, he was the last person on the plane, as we often are, and the student yelled out, "We have carry-on, we have carry-on," and he knew the inflection and she knew the inflection. Carry-on is dead meat. We do not have, we have a man here who's going to need some assistance and an aisle chair. We have carrion, we have dead meat. Then the next part of the problem that he describes was she realized that she had done something really stupid. So she proceeds to, as he gets off the plane and in his chair and he's out moving across the airport, she wants expiation for her gaffe. And so she persistently comes after him time and again. "Oh, I'm sorry, oh, I'm sorry, oh, I'm sorry." I think, again, this is something an awful lot of black folks, Americans of African descent, can relate to, is that people wanting them to forgive them. There's a time to do that, and there's a time where just get out of my life, folks. I think one of the things about crip humor, we get to say the word, Folks who don't have disabilities don't get to use it unless they are close enough and part of the family and lovers and friends. But we get to use the word crip. A lot of crip humor is stuff that some other folks, will not get the point. And I remember when Coming Home, have another movie reference, when John Voight does Coming Home, and the early scenes are John Voight is in the hospital. He's the Vietnam vet, and he's in the hospital, and he's got pee bags slung under his chair, and he's so pissed off, no hiding his anger. And he's flailing at one point, and what do they do in the next scene? They've got him strapped into bed and loaded up on Valium, and he's kind of gonzo in the tranquilizer, and the whole theater is quiet, and I'm roaring because of the truth of it. Because of that recognition. Oh yeah, give them a fuss. What they're going to do is pump you up and call it a prescription for your own good.